Before we jump into this episode, I want to invite you to join our community to help you become a better steward, scale to billions, and ultimately give more or all of it away. All I want you to do is to click the subscribe button right now. I love your support. It's incredible to see your comments, and we're just getting started. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. Thank you so much for subscribing. It means the world to me. Welcome to the Build It to Billions podcast, where we guide successful entrepreneurs and investors on their journey from millions to billions. We believe the key to scaling and compounding your wealth in life starts every single day with the mindset and practice of stewardship over ownership and applying billionaire biblical principles. Our ultimate goal is to help you scale and compound your wealth in life so you can give more of all the way to help MVPs. My name is Brett Swartz. Each and every episode, we're joined by the world's top entrepreneurs, millionaires, or billionaires, and they share their secrets and insights with us so we can all level up and make a bigger impact. I'm excited about our next guest. He's the managing director at Speyside Equity, where he's responsible for sourcing, executing, and managing and exiting investments. He has previously held senior leadership and operational roles, and he currently serves as on the boards of several portfolio companies. Before joining Speyside Equity, he was president and CEO of Kelux Heat Transfer Systems, and prior to that, he held roles at Eaton and Hilti Corporation, where he oversaw M&A activities and so much more. Please welcome to the show with me, Eric Wiklendt. Eric, how we doing?
I'm doing well, sir. Thanks a lot, Brett, for having me on. So you're probably aware, based on the title of your podcast, more money, more problems, but also more attorneys. So just a quick disclaimer here. For me, all expressions of opinion provided in this podcast are subject to change with notice and are not intended to be a forecast of future events or results. There is no assurance that the trends highlighted in this podcast will occur in the future or that the projections, if any, will be met. Thank you for indulging the request to say that.
Fantastic. I get it. That's no problem. And Eric, for our listeners getting to know for the first time, would you give us a little bit more about your story and your current focus?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot, Brett. So I grew up in the Detroit area, and I've been at Speyside, though, the last 15 years. But after growing up in the Detroit area, I went to school at Notre Dame, graduated from there, then came back to Detroit as a consultant. Did a lot of consulting, some bigger companies, that you would have heard of, especially in the automotive industry, and then a lot of smaller middle market businesses, and I really liked that. And that made me decide I wanted to either be a CEO or an investor in manufacturing businesses. Ended up achieving both by way of going back to graduate school out east, and then worked in a couple different manufacturing companies, Eaton Corporation, Hilti Corporation. Ultimately became CEO of Kelux Heat Transfer Systems, which was a small startup business that we grew and then sold that off about 15 years ago and joined Speyside Equity, where I've been ever since. And Speyside Equity is a very entrepreneurial-oriented private equity firm. So we do LBOs, but we're doing it in lower middle market manufacturing businesses, $50 million to $500 million in revenue. And always looking for exciting entrepreneurial ways to grow the business.
Excellent. And this is really interesting to talk about what Speyside Equity is doing, and acquisition solutions, business transformations. Can you maybe give a little bit about what you guys are doing now, and then what you're seeing in the marketplace?
Yeah, absolutely. So the reason why that's our slogan is because there's kind of two parts of our game. One part is structuring. That's the acquisition solutions part. And then we do a lot of transformations. So that's all about the solutions relative to transformations and whatnot. So for us, we're willing to do deals where it may be somewhat challenging to get a deal done, or it may require a lot of structuring. There may be things involved like assumed liabilities or seller needs or whatever. That's all about structuring. And then for us, our strategy, we call it a fix and build strategy. And usually we're buying businesses that need some sort of transformation, and that's usually the fix part to improve it or make it a scalable platform. And then the second part, or the phase two part, is the build part, which is growing the top line. So part one, we tend to improve the EBITDA margins. In phase one, operational focus, and then phase two is the build part, where we do bolt-on acquisitions and launch new products and enter new markets and all that good stuff, and that's where we grow the top line.
Excellent. And what type of investments now are with AI and everything that's happening in the world, how is that changing, and what makes it, what are the most. So if you like this little short clip of the interview I just did, click over here to watch the full interview. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much, everybody.